In today's video, we will discuss about the data types in Python. What are data types in Python? Data types means different types of data are there. Just like there are numbers, there are words, there are sentence, paragraphs. We do have decimal numbers, we have fraction numbers, and many more type of data we do have. So what are those called and how to deal with them in Python programming languages? So the very first one is the integer. We have some integer values. Integers values are just like 1, 3, 2, 2, 2. This is also integer value. This is also integer value. So integers are the equivalent of C long. Long integers are also there. There are two types of integer. First is normal integer, another one is the long integer, which says unbounded value, integer value. So for integer, our keyword is int. Then we do have float values. So float values are defined with the keyword called float. Float are nothing but decimal values. Then we have complex. Complex numbers are those numbers which consist of imaginary and real number. So if I say x is equal to 3 plus 2j, it means 3 is a real number and 2j is the imaginary number because we don't know the value of j. 1j is in the y value, which is totally imaginary. So x plus y is going to be this. And then same way x multiply y. So basically complex are those numbers which consist of two things, imaginary and real numbers. You will be dealing with this very less, like few times only, so you need not to worry about this concept a lot. Then we have string literals. String literals are nothing, just like suppose you have words, you have sentence, you have paragraphs, and you wanted to work on it. So you can use the quotations and write down those strings. Single quote, double quote will work. Fine. So let's get back onto the Visual Studio Code and write down some code related. So here we are back on our Visual Studio Code. Now let's write down some code related to the data types. In the last video, I have already told you about what variables and how you can declare the variables. So if you have not watched that video yet, go back and watch that video. So my integer is, let's suppose I'm creating a variable, my integer, and I'm storing 20. My float is 25. My complex is 20 plus 3j. My string is equal to the coding champion. So my string is this. Then we have my list. So my list is in the square brackets. So these are all the different data types that you will dealing with. We do have more data types, just like we have set, we have dictionary, we have tuples. So we will be discussing that in the later videos. These are the basic data types that I'm telling you, which we will be dealing in the further videos. So let's print out the type. So if you wanted to know the type, which type of a data do this variable consist of, then you have to write down the word which says type and then following up with the variable name. So same way I'm going to print it for all the variables. So type is equal to my integer we have already written string and this. Then we have complex. So let's print that as well. So here we got for integer, we are getting integer. For float, I'm getting float. For string, I'm getting str, which is a short form of string. My list is list only and the complex for complex. So these all are the data types that we have derived above and printing the type.